portion of The Giver, so we want to discuss it so you do well on your test tomorrow. So be thinking about all of the questions that you have on The Giver, and the journaling that you did. Remember, your journaling is on my webpage, and you can actually go to it right now and look at some of the other responses. If you go to my webpage, and it's on the very far left side, and it's period 6, if you look at the 2 journaling pieces, you'll see that some people felt that the giver, or that in the story, Jonas actually dies at the end of the story. And other people felt like Jonas lives and he finds this elsewhere. So what indications do you have that, first of all, that he might live, and he's actually found this elsewhere, or this place that's more like our world? Anybody want to share where did they find what they did? Cole?
Like at the end?
Yeah, tell me, why did you think that he may have lived?
Well, because like he said that he saw a house
Okay.
with lights and laughter and music and love and warmth. That's right.
Okay. Someone else? Other indications that he lived? So then what about the other side? What are some indications that he really wasn't alive? And more people in this class thought he lived than he died. That surprised me. But in the other class, if you look at the period 4, you'll see about half and half. Half said that they believed that he lived, and the other half said that he died. Why do some people think he dies at the end? Cassidy, do you remember?
Just the way the slide's just there, like in my memory.
Okay, so it's like he's going back into his memory. Anyone else?
I think he dies because he's having like all these great memories that he had, and like when he was on the set, it was like, and all he was wanting to do was like first to look stuff. That's kind of sign of the person's dying, so I think he died when he was like 3 years old.
So one of the things that we hear about when people die is that their life kind of flashes by them, and that's what was happening, and that he was so tired and so exhausted that he just wanted to lay down. And that's when people freeze to death, we hear about them just kind of going to sleep. Okay. When I read the book the first 2 or 3 times, I thought he died. I didn't see that he lived. And my students said that he lived. And I said, where does it say that? So what I think is really such a great thing about Lois Lowry is that she didn't write it so you feel like you're hanging. You know how sometimes a movie you feel like, oh, they didn't tell us the end? Because we did feel like we had an end. But my end and your end might be slightly different. So I thought she did such a neat job of ending this book. So I took it when I first read it, and it took me about 5 times for me to read that ending where I could really understand that, how she could see that maybe he really did live, because he is seeing Christmas and he is seeing the future and people in this elsewhere. But in my mind, I was like these 2 ladies that he was just going to sleep. It was his life flashing before him, and he was going to die. So interesting way that she spoke that. Now, at the end of the book, I asked you to read those questions. What does she say? What does the author say about this? What does she say about the ending? Okay, in her mind, she wanted him to live, but she wrote it in such a way that you had to kind of take it under yourself, take it in, and make a decision about it. So I really thought that was a neat piece of the way she wrote this book. Then yesterday I asked you to talk about symbolisms, or symbols, okay? So we have this symbol of the hill. At the end of the book, they have that hill. What does that symbolize? What could a hill symbolize? Think about Jonas. Cole? Got it? Brianna, what do you think? Symbolize the hill? He's happy to see the hill, or to see the sled at the top of the hill, right? Cole?
Well, normally when you see a hill, you see it's so hard to get up to the top. Once you're up there though, it's easy going down. Like, so it's like that feeling that you're almost there.
so Jonas had to make this tough journey. And he had all the hard parts done. And so the hill represents this whole journey that he's taking. And the journey from the bottom where everything was flat, like their community, everything was flat. And then he had to start to climb up this hill out of the community. This difficult journey. So the hill represents his journey. Snowflakes again from yesterday, we said those represented individuality and warmth. Not only was there the warmth that he shared with Gabe, but the warmth that he started to feel when he started going down the hill. He felt the people, he felt the warmth, he heard the music, all of those things. I was really impressed with your themes when I read through those, when I posted your themes. That was another question on the blogs. A lot of you chose individuality. Individuality is a theme of this story because one of the things Lois Lowry wants us to know, she wants us to understand that